existentialist. Am I worth anything or just discount? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Spending time all alone, sending my songs through the phone, dreaming of a better home. While I'm trying to hone this craft, witchcraft. I hope the Bluez let this last. I don't know.
The great sounds of Wata outside on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Prestige, with my partner in crime, Long Island raised, Elm City made, EZ Bluez is in the building. I got a good friend in our presence here for Behind the Brand, Candyce, Marsh, John. We're just going to call her Marsh throughout the whole program because she earned that title. That is legit. She did definitely earn that title. And it's crazy. You know when you have like a good connection with somebody, easy. Last time I think I had an interview with her was like about 4 years ago.
Yes.
Woo!
Crazy times. Pre-COVID, she was just starting it out.
You were allowed to be in the same room.
You know,
right? We were allowed to be in the same room. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? She was like, "I'm gonna get this website going. I'm gonna get this business. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna start it off." And I want to see what God takes me with this. And an incredible 4-year journey, 2020. We're in a pandemic, and she's still thriving. She's still doing her thing.
Yes.
I definitely, you over exceeded expectations. The website looks amazing. I saw the picture you did in Notorious B.I.G. It was just phenomenal. That's all I have to say. Candyce, thank you for being a part of Behind the Brand. It's good to have you.
Thanks for having me. Peace, everyone.
Definitely. Now, tell me about how this all started. You know, because I was doing a little research, more research like I always do, myself and Easy. And this all started off with a piece of wood with the F word on it.
Literally.
So please introduce the story to our audience.
So I had just moved into like my first apartment, and as a starving artist, my landlord was he allowed me to like help out on the property and took off my rent and stuff. And so he happened to have like random wood laying around, and I had spray paint I don't even know where the spray paint came from, honestly, but I had spray paint. And so I decided I was going to use this tape that I had and the spray paint, and that's where it all started. It was born right there in my back room on Gilbert Ave, New Haven.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was real. I remember creating that and just looking at it like, I don't even know what this is. Like, what just happened here? But I did it. So this is, and it just kind of sat there for a little while. And because I only had limited colors that I just happened to have laying around, blue, white, and I made some gray looking colors and stuff. My first like 4 pieces were all the same colors.
Wow.
Literally, because I didn't have any other, and at the time it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna be an artist and I'm gonna go and paint. So I didn't have like a plethora of options and things like that. But I did that, and randomly I was tattooing at the time. And that's what actually like also motivated me to get into other aspects of art. I had a really great mentor who was like, you're not going to be sitting around me aggravating me all day, so you're going to figure out some type of other art to do when you're not tattooing. And so, he pushed me, and so that was the initial catalyst. And then just like I picked it back up, like I picked up a love for it anyway, when just life became in itself challenging in a new adult way that I hadn't had to. It was unfamiliar territory. And so the only thing I could do was kind of paint to be balanced out.
Now you say unfamiliar territory, just by a whole mindset that you had that had to be exciting for you.
Absolutely. I mean,
definitely up for the challenge.
So yes. So once I thought about it, like, this is a challenge. This is something that I'm not going to let beat me, because I was kind of used to being able to just be pretty much good at visual things all my life. But painting was one of the things that even in high school, I think I not failed a semester of art, but got a pretty crappy grade in art in high school because I refused to like paint. I refused to do that whole like section of the whole like the art course. Like I was like, I'm not painting, I'll draw. And so obviously I did work, and so she gave me some sort of credit, but it wasn't for what she asked. So even at that point I was like, oh, I don't want to do this, I don't like color, I only wanted to do things in black and white. I had a whole thing. I know my art teacher now was like, wow, because I gave her the hardest time ever. Literally. It was weird, but I'm here now, and it just is like, when I think about all of the things that got me here, it wasn't just one thing. It was like a combination of life and experience and just emotion and growth, right? So
it was a whole experimental journey. That's
literally.
Now, Marsh, tell me what made you want to turn just your artwork into a business, just to share with others. Because at first it started off, from what you're telling me and just what I've seen, just as therapy. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel good to draw. Like every time like you have that paintbrush, a lot of feelings come out. Probably I'm looking right behind you. I'm thinking that's probably some of your artwork right behind you, which looks really amazing. So what made you say, you know what, let me share this artwork to the world? What gave you the confidence? What made you want to actually start this off as a business?
Well, one thing my mom always ingrained in my brothers and sisters and I was to be your own person, be your own, to have your own, to work for yourself.
Right.
That was always like growing up, she constantly just drove that in our heads and whatnot. And I'm a scary individual when it comes to things like that. I used to say, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go to work and work my 9 to 5 and know that I could get paid, right? I don't want to have struggle and all of this other stuff. And then it came to a point where I had worked for all my life, and that was just, and I'm not old, but it felt like it was like all my life, and I was over it. I was over arriving to other people's schedules and making other people be great. And I decided that this was my gift. It would be selfish of me to keep this for myself. And so this is my gift to the world, in addition, a way for me to have a career and, just remain solid and give back to the community as well. Like I want to be able to use my craft as, it's not a just for me thing, right? I want to be able to take it so that other people can recognize and realize their growth or their potential, however that may be, whether it is I'm helping them hone in on their craft, or whether they just see my work and feelings are invoked and then takes them to another place. But
now
that's it.
You bring that same mentality, because I saw on your website on martianart.com that you provide classes.
Yes.
For different amount of artwork. Now, how long have you been doing that, and how long have you been giving back to the community for those classes?
Well, I started doing the classes probably about 4 years ago.
Okay.
Back then it was called Juice Box and Paint. And I would just host it in the park for kids, because I figured, during the summer, kids need things to do, school, and this could be something that both the parent and child could do together. Yeah. It was really inexpensive, so you would come down to the park, you get a healthy snack, and you get time to paint. We did tie-dye shirts. We mixed it up. We just had fun with the paint and being introduced to it, because that's the beginning, right? You never know if you're good at something or if you like something until you try it. And I think that with art, sometimes people don't get to try it until way later in life. Like people don't take it serious. It's not something that people are like, oh, let's sit down and see if you could draw. Whereas people are like, let's see if you could be a football player. Let's see if you could be, people don't take that same type of like love or passion.
I 100% agree with that, because you have that all the time, where it's usually the arts programs are the first programs that are cut out of education.
Cut funding,
And what people have actually seen is there are higher test results. There are, kids excel more when the arts are nurtured, when you're able to nurture the creative mind. then the functional mind actually is there on so many more accounts. So I completely love and respect, and I love the fact you called it juice box and paint, because everyone's like, oh, it's wine and paint, it's sip and paint, it's edibles and paint. And the fact that you did it, like you took that thing and you brought it in for a children aspect of it, that is amazing. So thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's funny how you two mentioned that, because I didn't have that enthusiastic art teacher. My what we were saying earlier is could be too, what's that right word, robotic. A lot of people just robotic when it comes to their teaching. It really sucks, because you got to be into it, especially when it comes to art, especially when it comes to expressing yourself. I think I haven't had that probably since probably my last year of high school. I had that one art teacher who was just everywhere, was just paintings, and she was full of life and brought positive energy to the classroom. And you probably did that with Juice Box and Art. And one thing that says about you is your patience, because when you teach kids, especially little kids, tie-dye shirts, that has to have a lot of
Listen, people were taking other people's shirts. It was crazy. Kids who weren't even at the program ended up walking away with shirts. It was a long day. It was very long, but it was an amazing.
Your shirts were deboed. They deboed your shirts. That's amazing.
No, I'm so serious. I had to go back and like re-roll more shirts so that the kids who were actually supposed to get shirts done were able to leave with them. Like, it was crazy. It turned out to be a really big event, bigger than I had anticipated, for sure.
Nice. And when you think about it, probably you can still do Juice Box and Art in the pandemic. You'll probably like social distance the kids like outside when it gets warmer again, because we're in the cold weather now.
Yeah, I mean, also we could do. I was doing during the top of the pandemic. I had created like little paint kits for kids, so little 8x10s. It came with all the paint. It was pre-sketched, so only thing they had to do was paint. And so you could either take that option and just paint with your family at home, or we could set up something virtually and I paint along with you. So the option to do the juice box and paint is definitely still there, even if we have to keep it virtual. So I'm definitely working on that, because I just recently found out that we're going back to phase 2. So it seems like we're going to need a little bit more things for the kids to do. I understand parents are working and whatnot, and so sometimes you just need to be able to say, go in there on the computer and do your thing. And so I want to be able to be that outlet for not only kids but parents as well.
Nice.
Absolutely. What did you enjoy more? Oh, actually, what brings more creativity from you, painting or giving someone a tattoo? Because you're actually, I never personally had a tattoo, but when you give someone a tattoo, like I've seen the process, you actually get to know that person more. You get to know a little bit about them more. You get to know about their style and unique vision of life. But you can answer that better than I can.
I think that it's a difference. Like they provide two different things for me. When I'm tattooing, I could get into a tattoo and 3 hours have passed and I'm like, oh snap, we're 3 hours into this piece. And so with tattooing, it's almost like I'm now to the point with my tattooing that it's almost like a painting now, in the same way that I paint with different gradients and things and such. I'm now learning to do those same things with the tattoo machine. And so so now I'm at the point where I have, how I do I don't know. I do mini portraits, Martian art mini portraits. Yes, and so with my mini portraits, I recently had the opportunity to tattoo one. And so it was like literally, it's really cool. It's up on my page.
Nice.
At martianart.com, but it's also on my IG, which is the same thing, Martian Art. And so it was like, now I'm at the point where I can take my drawings and create them in my paintings and create them as a tattoo, and it almost is identical to the painting. So awesome. I'm at the point where I'm developing my style, where my style as an artist in general is now crossing over into my tattoo style.
This is beautiful what we see here.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's my self-portrait from 2019.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually the beginning of the element collection that I have going on right now. So that was just, it was a crazy year, like 2018 and then going into 2019 for me. And so this was like my rebirth. I had went through a lot of things and I had painted those feelings already. And so for me, when I came back to touch the canvas, this is what I created. I wanted to put all of me on the canvas, and this is how at the time I saw me. I wanted you to see me total, like my inside, my like me down to my skeleton. I wanted you to see me. So that's what that is right there.
That's really beautiful, especially with the whole colors, how everything's so vibrant. Glasses, everything, like it tells a real good story too. It definitely does. It definitely does. It's really exciting. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. It's really the colors are so vibrant, and it tells such an incredible story. You know, it really does. Like it comes off where you are literally like rebearing your soul in this piece, and it's stunning. Like it's wow.
When you look at some of your paintings, some of your past drawings, do you feel, because like every artist, I mean, even Easy Bluez, you can tell as a musician, like every time they finish a song and like a track is complete, they haven't felt like they've done enough. Maybe I should have put this there. Maybe I should have put this color in this painting. Maybe, oh man, I should use the green instead of the black, or, you know.
Absolutely. And you know what? That's why some things, I hold on to them for a little while. Some things I don't post right away. Also, what I do is to work myself through those type of feelings is I take a picture. Once I feel like, oh, I'm at a point of maybe finish, or I'm at a point where I just want to step back from it, I take a picture of it. And then I could kind of see things in it that I'm missing or that I wanted to add. And also what I do to work through those type of like feelings is I make sure like whatever I'm working on, if I'm like having a hard time with it or trying to start something new and I've been struggling, I will put the canvas right in the room with me so that when I wake up, it's the first thing I see. When I go to sleep, it was the last thing I saw. And so that it's just this triggering, it's refreshing, and it's also something I can lay down and go to bed with. So I use that sometimes to help me, especially if I'm struggling, like haven't painted and I really need to paint. I'll leave a blank canvas on an easel in my room, just chilling.
That's awesome.
Have you had more, since you said that whole strategic motivation, have you ever had more than one canvas in the morning? Okay, I'm gonna do this one.
Yes.
This one at night. It's kind of crazy. Like, I'm trying to envision what you're telling me.
Like if I was in my lab right now, my lab, that's what I call my little paint area. I call it the lab.
I'm with it.
Right now I'm in lab 2.0 in Philly, but normally my lab is in New Haven. And when I'm in there, my pieces that I'm like working on or that I've finished, but I'm like, it's super new finish, they're just out. Like they surround me like they're my friends. And then I kind of just look over in the corner like, oh, maybe I should do that. And then I'll take this out and start painting on that. And then I'll look over at that one and like, oh snap, I didn't even realize I didn't put eyelashes on that. You know, it's just like my mind can be very chaotic sometimes and bounce back and forth. And I do digital art as well. So if I take a break from painting, I might look over at the iPad and I'm like, oh, I was supposed to be working on this. And then I start working on that. Or I use a color while I'm doing something digital. And I'm like, oh, I really like that color. That's the color that's missing from something else. Then I try to recreate that color. And it gets crazy.
Now, oh my God. I lost train of thought, man. I saw Tupac and Biggie right there, man. That is like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I love them. I love them. I love their good motivation. And also just nostalgic growing up. That was Biggie and Pac. I was in that era.
That was a childhood right there, man.
Yeah.
That definitely was. Now, you said Lab 2.0 is in Philly. Now, tell me about the great networking you have done in Philadelphia, because that's a mecca when it comes to art form.
Yes. It's definitely a mecca when it comes to art form, and it's just awesome. It's an awesome place to be surrounded with like
Yeah,
blackness.
of course.
Like
Absolutely. Black connections
but
is definitely there.
speaking of connections, I actually have a show out here today.
Good for
Mm.
you.
Yeah, Halloween show this evening, and it's gonna be pretty lit.
Mm-hmm. That's
How
awesome.
are they handling pandemic procedures in Philadelphia? Because I know like a lot of the cases have been going up recently. Like how are art shows being planned now? Because usually, from what you told me, I think like it was back 4 years ago. You've been to shows where you couldn't even like move in the crowd. It's like a little
Yeah.
concert. It's crazy. Like, how is everything going now when it comes, to social distancing and just respecting those guidelines?
So from what I've been seeing, thus far, what I think I've done like one other event during this time, during this like actual in-person event during pandemic. And what's happening is people are still are required to wear their masks. Some places are taking people's temperatures, not as often as I feel like,
Right.
like when I was out of the country, they take temperatures every couple of steps you take.
That thought. I'm very sorry, Martian. As we talk about the pandemic procedures in Philadelphia on WNHH LP 103.5 FM New Haven, behind the brand, myself, Prestige, and Long Island Rays, Elm City Made Easy Blues. Martian Art is in the building. Continue.
Peace. So, basically out here, what they're doing is keeping the amount of people limited and just making sure everyone has their mask and everything on basically the entire time kind of situations. And other events, they're not really serving anything like serving things, so there's no extra cross contamination type of stuff. But
yeah. Tell me, back in the day, maybe it's a yes or no. I could be wrong, because my brain's a little bit fried sometimes. But I know you were a part of some fashion shows.
Yes, I was.
Tell me about that experience.
So for a little while, even still now, if you look at my hoodie.
Nice. Liking it.
I customize clothing. And so that's how I kind of got my way or my door into my foot into the door with the fashion shows and things.
Yeah.
I actually had an opportunity in New York at New York's Fashion Week to design some sneakers, like customize some sneakers and whatnot.
Right.
But it was a fun experience. It's just what I'm learning, right? It's not even about how great you are. It really is who you know. Literally. So
that is cool right there. The Unpozy black jeans.
Oh yeah, thank you. I just did those not too long ago. I gave them to my partner.
Awesome. That's really amazing. Awesome. Now, you said sneakers. How hard is it to design sneakers? Because like you really got to catch the person's eye probably within the good 2 seconds that they want. Tell me about that.
Well, what I will say is it's way harder to design a little kid sneaker.
Ooh.
You gotta like squint, like super zoom out. It's yeah. So adult shoes, I love doing like guys with big feet.
Yeah.
Because I get to add, I could really add the design up there. It's really clear. I have more space, all of those type of things. But I try to, when I do sneakers, I try to keep it just like kind of like my art is. Like it's a collage, and so it's like different aspects of a theme. I try to keep it so that, I ask people, well, what is your theme? What is it that you want these sneakers or shoes to say when people look at them, besides their Uptowns or that they're 10s?
That is true. Because some people are probably, what's the best way to say this? Too basic. Do you agree? When it comes to their fashion, they don't want to,
I think that there's a difference between fashion and style. There's a difference between fashion and style.
Yes, and what I really wanted to say here, and this is the theme, and that I hope everyone at home is really, 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 really paying attention to.
Right.
What is the most incredible part of your story is you have been genuinely yourself from jump. You know, where and who you are in the purest moment. Back in high school, you weren't feeling painting, so you didn't want to paint, and guess what? You didn't paint. You had to find your love for paint. A lot of artists, as they go through, and no matter what their type of art is, they're going to hit these points, these minimalistic points and different things like that. And you created with what you had. You didn't sit there and go, oh, this is my blue period, so I'm only going to paint in blue. You're like, hey, I only have these colors, and I'm going to make the best art I can and truly represent myself. You know, when you had the rebirth aspect, you painted yourself first, because you're being truest to who you are, and the communication that you have with people. What is the theme you want in here, instead of being the brand that represents other people and saying we are aligned to this brand, like a Tim or something like that. You're saying, who are you and how do you want to affect this brand? And that is the reason why you have like one hit wonders and you have people who have careers, because you are sitting here and you are just pouring yourself into it, and you're encouraging others to pour themselves into it. And that
absolutely
is amazing.
Even with tattooing, people are like, oh, just freestyle. Well, I can freestyle, but I need you to give me some type of idea where you want me to start, some theme. Because again, back with the theme, I can then take my imagination and put the twist onto it. It doesn't happen the other way around. Where you put the twist onto it and then you create, something is created beautiful that the other person is going to absolutely love. That makes no sense to me. I can't tell you what you think is beautiful or what you desire to see on your feet or your body every day. I can't tell you that. But what I can do is turn your desire or what you think or how you feel into a reality. Let me evoke the emotion for you. But I'm not a god. I'm not the creator. I am, but I'm not.
Right. No, I know, but that is so key. That is so key, because we are so programmed as a society that that we go to these devices to be told what we should want and how we should be, and that is the responsibility of art. And art, and trying to make a subjective medium, and art is 100% subjective, because what one person is going to love, another person is going to hate, period. And there's nothing you can do to change that. So trying to take that subjective medium and try to make money into it, like, I personally love walking into the bed and constantly stubbing my toe on an everyday basis. And that's the life of an artist, right?
Literally. Literally. Am I going to face plant or am I going to land on my feet? What's happening?
Exactly. Yeah. And no matter what, as long as you stick the landing, whether it's face or on the feet, then it's good.
It's the getting back up. It's the getting back up. It's the finishing through the day. It's the knowing that there's someone else out there being even more successful, but you still pushing and you still creating. It's like the whole, like that meme where it shows where it's an aisle in a grocery store and it has it's the bread aisle, and it's like there's thousands of breads, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that you can't be bread too, basically, is what it's saying. So there are thousands and awesome artists, like awesome, incredible artists out there, but that's not going to stop my parade, because I have something to offer, I have something to give, and I want the world to see it and feel it and appreciate it. I don't know if everybody will always understand it, but I don't create for people to understand. I create for people to feel. So whether you like it, whether you hate
I'm your biggest fan right now. I love you as a human being. That's what I want. Oh my goodness. I absolutely love you as a human being. I am your biggest fan. I am a lifelong fan now. That, like, thank you. So many more people need to really understand that. Like, I'm a musician and whatever. This is definitely not about me. But, when you have that point, I don't make art for other people. I make art because that is the moment. And I'm just trying to capture that moment and being real honest in that moment. And a lot of people lose that because they get caught up in the corporate aspect of it. They get caught up in the money grab, and then you have, you know, people who you could have like one of the best artists in the entire world. I look at poetry. Emily Dickinson, you know, was one of the best poets, but never published until after she was dead. And then they found in her room just rolls upon rolls upon rolls of this incredible poetry, you know, because she was making it for herself, and that's why it was the purest, you know, and that's so incredible. And give me the good feels. It's great. Okay. Good. Sorry.
What do you dislike about the art world? What can it do to be better, especially for independent entrepreneurs like yourself?
Well, what I feel like I dislike the most is actually changing, especially with the pandemic happening and everything. I feel like there's more opportunity now for independent artists to like really thrive and really be able to push their things, even if they don't have the capital, right? Because now there are so many third-party sites that can help you produce your products and things that you need in order, you know, for you to get yourself off the ground and whatnot. And just also the opportunity to present your work and to be in big spaces is changing. Those opportunities are coming towards some of the smaller artists now. And I felt like before, art was just like this club that you had to be able to get into to be successful. But that's not so much the case anymore.
So it's not, it used to be a lonely road. It's not too lonely anymore. Just with the whole, you know, social media and just the whole networking, and find out there's a lot of great minds like yourself out there. I mean, that's probably why you moved to Philly. Just, you know, just be a better professional from where you are right now. But yeah, man, that's really interesting, because we're in a no excuse world now. There's numerous opportunities to go out there and just to express yourself.
Right.
Because I keep on saying this, man, it's always separating the leaders from the followers. How much are you willing to do? How much are you willing to get out there right now? I mean, shoot, we're still having a radio shows now. Look at this platform. We're still trying to make it happen. We're still trying to adjust. We're in the art of adjusting to this new normal right now. So it's definitely really great to see. It's amazing.
Yeah. As humans, though, we always adjust. Yeah. It's about who gets left behind in the dust as we're adjusting, more often than not. And so, I mean, that kind of just goes back to the whole, like, the idea where art was just a certain people only club. You know, you're only getting into certain venues and certain spaces for certain reasons. And like I was just saying, a lot of that stuff is changing, and hopefully those people that were being left behind before are now able to access the things. And like you said, we can't really have any excuses because we have so many points of like opportunity right in front of us, but you also have to know how to utilize them.
That's key. that is so key right there.
Absolutely. What's the best piece of advice that you have gotten that still sticks to you to this day? Phil, who got played at Jeopardy?
Best piece of advice? That's tough. Well, my best piece of advice, I would think, or that comes to mind in this moment, is to create, and don't let anything stop it. If you're sad, create. If you're angry, create. If you're excited, create. If you're celebrating, create. Always find a way to create. So, that's awesome. I try to keep that in like my everyday life, whether it be like just doodling or actually sitting down and painting something or digital art, or just, I try to make sure that I'm always being creative.
Actually, when you say that, that can bring out the best work in you, especially when you're feeling some type of way. You need some way to exercise that feeling. If I'm saying this right, you need some type of way. You can't just hold it inside, especially when you're angry. When you're angry, you have so much energy in you. You just have to do something.
Yeah,
exercise,
that stuff will eat at you.
Anything that can just really get it out there. And then when you're done bringing that energy out, you feel really good about yourself. Easy, help me. It's like an individual therapy, right? It's like
well, and it's funny because that's exactly what it is. It's that moment to bare your soul. It's that moment to sit in your feelings. And we are so terrified to sit in our feelings. And for a lot of us, we have been told you shouldn't feel, or suck it up and move forward, push through. And that's the reason why so many people are, die of early heart attacks or, have strokes, because they don't take that time to truly sit with it, to take those grieving moments. What I absolutely loved about the advice that you were given was to constantly create. When you're sad, create. When you're happy, create. Just create. The entire time, and that can take on so many different things. You don't necessarily have to be a visual artist or a sonic artist. You can be a clerk working at a Stop and Shop, and you could be creating, because you're creating different moments moving forward. You're becoming and that's your art form. And if more people treated life as this is your art form, you're a living, breathing piece of art, especially with how obsessed we've become with reality TV and social media. We're watching other people live their lives instead of going out and living our own. So you really have to sit with it, because it's easier to deal with someone else's pain than to look inward and deal with your own.
Right. Absolutely.
Tell me about the Black Lives Matter mural. How were you a part of that? Tell me about the networking. How did that opportunity come across you?
So, honestly, I had help with the one in Bridgeport. I was just assisting the other main artist there. And when I did that, it immediately put fire in my soul. It was the most beautiful thing to watch happen, man. To just see people come together, old, young, people who have never picked up a paintbrush in their life, come out and be able to accomplish something as a team without it being chaotic, super chaotic and everything. It was amazing. I was standing in the middle of the street like, wow, look at this. Like, this is dope. And so immediately I got back to New Haven and was like, yo, I hit up Black Lives Matter and was like, yo, when we doing the one out here? Cause y'all playing. I'm ready. Are we just taking over the street and doing it, or we gotta wait for permission? Like, how we doing this? And then they were like, no, we're gonna try and follow the rules first, and make sure and speak with the city. And so
man, look at that.
Yeah, they did everything on their end. It took a little while, but the city came through and they helped Black Lives Matter and myself and the other two artists, and we killed this. So we had Perez and Jesse who were a part of it. And so Perez, he took over the logistics part, made sure we had the right amount of paint, the right paint for the street so that it wouldn't lift up so easy. And so from there, I took on the point of like just organizing. Okay, so this is how we're going to run everything so that our day isn't too chaotic, because there's going to be a lot of people there, and we want to still make sure everyone has fun. Of course. And so of course, I took on that aspect of everything. And Jesse, he was just there being really creative with us and whatnot. And so it was amazing. The community came out and helped. It was all kinds of people there. It felt like an absolute. It was a privilege. I felt honored to be able to be there and put on for my city in a sense, to show my city that I am an artist and I'm here and I'm creating for us. So it's pretty
one of those memories that will never leave your head. You're gonna have that till the end of your days. It's an amazing feeling to have.
As it was happening, I didn't think that it was that big of a deal. And then after the fact, like 11 o'clock at night, I was like, oh, that was huge, first of all.
Mhm.
Those letters were like, I think 23 by 153. It was crazy. Those letters are huge. And so the whole process, like we went down the night before and taped it and
Hold on.
put everything. It still hadn't
energy,
set
Marsh.
in
Keep
that.
that energy, Marsh. Keep that energy on WNHH LP 103.5 FM New Haven. Behind the brand, Prestige, Easy Blues, Marsh and Art. Talking about the beautiful mural that we see right here on the WNHH Facebook, the Black Lives Matter mural on Temple Street and Chapel Street. Tell us about that amazing energy. Continue that positivity, Marsh, and go right ahead.
Yes, it still hadn't sunk in that, that we were doing something that was going to be history. And so I felt really proud. I felt like I was there for the community and we accomplished it. There's talks to have more of them throughout the city.
I agree.
So we'll see what happens, but I'm down to be a part of every single one.
Now, you said till 11 o'clock at night you were doing
well,
it.
First of all, we went out there when we first went to go and tape it down. We were there. We went at 11. I was late. I'm always late. But I got there like 11:10. I'm on artist time. It's cool. So once I got there, we started laying everything down. We didn't leave there until like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. Then we had to be back there for 6 a.m.
Oh my God.
No,
and of course, again, I was late.
Okay. So by like 9:42, she showed up.
I'm gonna put that out there.
I would be late too. That's perfectly.
Of course, again, I was late. But yeah, so it was like I think it was once we got there at 6, we were moving so fast and efficiently that they had to make us stop. Like they were like, you guys are getting it done too quick and you'll be done by like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning. And we still have visitors and volunteers coming down until 5 o'clock. Okay. So you guys got to slow down.
I got you.
So, we slowed down. We actually ran out of paint at one point. We had to go and send one of the artists, Perez, his wife came through and she went and grabbed it for us. And so it was really like, it was a collective, it was a team effort, and we all put aside whatever that would have came in the way and did what we needed to do. So it was just great on many aspects.
Thank you for
and
that,
shout out to Black Lives Matter also.
Definitely.
Heck yeah.
New Haven specifically.
Definitely, man. This year has definitely been waking us up. A lot of people have been woken up this year. I mean, it was even beautiful to see people all the way in Germany, no face of color in sight, fight the same fight.
Absolutely.
Crazy. It's been crazy this year. So I just want to say thank you for that, man. That was just beautiful. It was just beautiful.
Thank you. I mean,
I would love it to see it in almost every street in New Haven. But
yes, supposedly 7 more. 7 more.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Supposedly. We're trying to make it happen, but hopefully about 7 more will go up. It's no guarantee, but it's definitely what we're going for.
Okay, let us know. keep it happening. Let us know.
We're gonna have I think the director of the arts and culture for New Haven on next month. So I'm gonna take a note. I'm gonna make sure that we ask her very nicely, repetitively until she says yes. To get those other 7 and to get a time frame on that. And the reason why I know that's going to work is because I've asked her very nicely, repetitively, and got her on the show. So,
Well, I think that Black Lives Matter might lead this one, might lead the rest of them. But the city's help would definitely be appreciated, for sure.
We got about 10 minutes left of this broadcast. I want to know about your future. What do you have in store, planned out for the rest of 2020, and what can we expect from 2021 from you?
So,
okay.
I recently wrote a kid's book.
Okay.
Word.
And so, right, I am going to
Absolutely. I like that better.
finish up those illustrations so that in 2021 that can be released. Prior to that, I'm also going to continue to work on the Elements collection, which is my form of the periodic table, because I feel like they say, well, with the periodic table, they have all of the elements that make up the world, that make us great, so be able to sustain life and so on and so forth. And so on my table of elements, which I have Pac right here, he's one. Pac will be on my table of elements, and we'll have other people like other pioneers, we'll have activists, we'll have doctors, but it will consist of all Black and brown people. And so I'm going to continue to work on that. That might be a never-ending project. But I plan on getting as many people known as possible, people who we don't know, right? We know Martin Luther King, we know Malcolm X. So I have them up here, of course, but I want to go deeper. I want to dive in a whole nother way and bring, art and history in one.
Have people actually look people up.
Yeah, and then one other thing I have coming up is I will be doing a pop-up art shows starting in New Jersey. We're going to head up to New York, and we're going to take over the tri-state. It's me and 2 other artists, and both females. And so we're here to take over, and art is life, and it will always be life. And that is what my future looks like, art. Is
there a group name for the trio you're in?
Nah, not yet. Right now, we just a pop-up art crew right now.
Okay, I like that. It's a good name. Not mad with that name.
They're more. We have one artist up there, the mad artist. She's really creative, so I'm sure she'll give us a name really quickly. But we're out here. We take it.
And of course, you will tell us when it pops up in New Haven, so we can come down there and support and bring the socially acceptable, socially distancing amount of people we should be bringing in there.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Just want to make sure
everyone will know.
Yes.
I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. You're doing what you want.
Thank you. I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I remember you being you weren't asking the questions last time. And so it's great to see you being the man asking the questions and saying you got your partner with you, your own show. That's really dope. We both came up in the world.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but it's how we talk about it, but then we live it, and then we don't even realize how time goes by so fast.
No, literally.
It's crazy.
I didn't even realize it was 4 years ago, or
however
long it's been since the last time. That's crazy. I had long hair back then.
Yeah.
Preston had hair back then.
I had hair back
then. Literally.
With no beard and a hairline.
He switched. He's
definitely had the baby face.
Oh yeah.
Remember that game with the magnets there, and you could shake it up, and you could either have the beard or the hair.
Yes, I know exactly.
We shook up Prestige. We're like, and today he has a beard.
It's all right. It's all right. You're a grown man now. It's exactly. The man face. Just accept it. It's the man face.
But it's just been incredible just seeing you grow, and that what you told me about the children's book, that's crazy. It's surprising, but it's not surprising what you told me about the children's book, because you love to be a mentor, you love to build future minds, and you want them to have a better journey than you ever had, which is really the point of life of just being an adult. We want the younger generation.
This will be my second illustrated book.
Second one, okay. Awesome.
Second, yeah. I have one. Well, the author is Liz, and you could actually purchase it on Amazon. It's called Mama, Do You Love Me? That was my first book I illustrated. That was last year. Yeah.
Awesome. Good. All right. Now, how challenging can that be? And the reason I say challenging, because you have to be very blunt in a kid's book, and you have to catch the eye so quickly in a kid's book, because kids can immediately get bored and turn off. They can look at one page, close it, and go right to the next one. What makes you want to catch that eye?
The cool thing about this book, the author gave me full freedom and range. And so, you know, I put my faceless characters in there. And I know that immediately that's going to make a kid be like, but why are there no you know? So even if they don't even read the book, I know that they're going to look through the book and have questions about the illustrations in themselves.
Bam.
And so I think that was like, for me, I just wanted to make sure I had good color. I wanted to make sure it wasn't too overwhelming of an image for a kid. And I wanted it to kind of have like, I wanted it to be light. I wanted to just flow. And so because I had the freedom as an artist, I was able to do that. And kids like it. I actually went to a couple of schools. We read it to the kids. Somebody sent me a picture of a kid doing their virtual homework with it the other day. So it's really cool. Like, I didn't even know you bought it, but great, thanks.
That's amazing.
You know, that's right. That's amazing. Like, how about that? He picked up all the books he could pick. He picked my book to work on vowels. You know what I'm saying? So whether it's what the storyline or whether it's the illustrations, I'm okay with it, long as he's reading something, and that especially that I created.
That's amazing.
Kind of cool to see a book you did next to other famous children's books like Dr. Seuss and like other famous authors like that, like Curious George and like other public. It's really cool to see. It's really amazing feeling.
Yep. So I can't wait to actually get mine out there on the shelves. It's a dedication to little Black boys all around the world.
Absolutely. Representation.
That's awesome.
Is definitely the key. Now, you made a lot of smart decisions. I'm trying to admit, we got like about 3 minutes, so I'm probably gonna like smidge this whole question in just 3. But what opportunities have you turned down? Because like when you grow, especially as an entrepreneur, you have to know when to put your foot down and when to say no. So what opportunities? You don't have to really go too much in detail, but like, what opportunities have you turned down that you knew was like a right?
I don't know if this will sound great, but non-paid gigs.
Yeah.
I'm not so open to just do those. Mostly if it's kids involved, I'm there. I'm for it. You know, whatever.
Right.
Maybe feed me, give me a water. We good. But you know, other than that, if it's an adult type event, if it's the whole you know, I love my family, I love my friends, but I'm not doing stuff for free. That stuff is gone. I was doing that kind of stuff when it was a hobby, when I didn't understand my worth or my value, what I had going on with myself. So no, that's out. Anything I'm doing right now, you paying me for it. If you're not paying me, then I don't know.
And that's huge. And I want everyone at home to understand this. Like, no matter what, in every single artistic industry, and take this is when you pull over to the side of the road, take out your notepad, take out your little pencil, and write this phrase down. You cannot feed your family with exposure. Period. You know. And you have to, like, it doesn't sound bad. It sounds incredible, and it's what more artists in every single genre of art should be doing. Is you know, the gratis stuff. You know, look at like Al Pacino. Al Pacino did all of these incredibly big blockbuster movies so that he could then do Shakespeare for free in the park. You know, get paid first and then give back. And you're doing that, and that it provides you with so much freedom to create what you want to create, because you're making sure that you're getting the value you deserve. And I applaud you.
So to answer your question, I'm sorry, I know we only got like 1 second left, but to just double back on the question when you asked me what was the greatest advice that I got, if I'm really sincere about it, it is to charge my worth. And if somebody can't afford it, then that's their problem. Tell them save up, but don't throw yourself down to accommodate others. That is how that's how the business owner and the person who is just doing something, that's what's different between them. So if I want to continue to just be somebody that can create, then I'm gonna undermine myself. But if I want to be somebody that is going to be successful and have things to give to my family and their family, then I need to be able to know that I need to charge a certain price, and that's it.
Love it.
Marsh and Art in the building. WNHHLP 103.5 FM. I can barely speak. I'm so amazed by the brilliance I'm seeing right now. Please give your social media and everything before we go out on this broadcast.
All right. Peace, everyone. My IG is at Marshunart, MARSHUNART. And my website is marshunart.com. Come through. I hope to see you guys in some classes. And for any upcoming artists, inbox me. I answer questions. I don't bite.
And we got to have you again. We got to have
definitely.
you. I can talk to you like 2 or 3 more hours.
Yes. Let me know. I'm down.
Awesome.
I'm totally down. Behind
the brand, Marsh and Art, Prestige, Easy Blues. Been great. Thank you so much.
Wondering what to write about, trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist, am I worth anything or just discount? I don't know. Spending time all alone, sending my songs to the phone, dreaming of a better home, while focused on trying to hone this craft, witchcraft. I hope the Bluez let this last.